Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video, it is going to be very long-winded. I don't know how long this is going to go, but I'm going to just go with it. I'm not going to try to rush anything because I just went through a box that has all kinds of thank you notes, free cards, different purchases that I've made over the years, and it brought back a lot of memories for me. And it also reminded me of many of the reasons I sell and the policies that I have and the thankfulness that I have for not only the people that I do business with on eBay, but all the people that I've interacted with over the years on YouTube. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I've thrown away, but there's been a lot that I've kept. And so if you're typically here for market talk or anything like that, well, there's probably not going to be a lot of that during this video. This is just going to be me walking down memory lane, but I hope that you stick around because there's some pretty cool stuff that I've found. And if you're only wanting to look at things, maybe go a little farther down the video. But here in the beginning, I'm going to just walk through some of these notes that I've gotten and some of the ones that stuck out. I couldn't read through all of them. There's a huge stack of ones that, man, I'm just not even going over. And there's been so many more than this that I've had over the years. Like, that's just a stack of ones that I couldn't really read all the way through just because, there was just so many of them. I would have been in there for days just going through it. And it really took me back to a time when a lot of people communicated through mail. This doesn't include emails that all you guys have sent or anything like that. This is just stuff that's physically in hand that I've been sent. I'm going to talk about some old YouTubers that don't even exist anymore that really they help build a community within Pokemon online, and whether you know it or not, we all owe them a little bit of a debt. But I'm going to start with a kid that actually I'm hoping that I can do the right one, but his name is Will, and he actually sent me this letter. I'm going to look at some of this stuff before I show it to you guys, because if by chance they're still living in the same address, I don't want to show that. All right, so let me jump to this. Dear Mr. Oakley, my name is Will. I ordered your Yu-Gi-Oh! 100 plus pack off eBay. I got some good cards, but I was disappointed because when I saw the picture on eBay, it had Exodia, Genzo, Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, and other good cards. I did not get them! Exclamation mark. From Will. Please write back. Wow, what a responsible young man. He took the time to write me a letter and was very articulate in saying why he was disappointed, and then asked me to write back. He wasn't vulgar. He didn't demand anything. He told me why he was upset. And look at this is paper. Like, nobody does this anymore. People are not sending stuff in on paper. They're having their parents leave them a negative feedback or ask for a refund or something like that. But I'm telling you, this was a kid, and he wrote me. He took the time to write me. Like, this says a lot, not only for this young man, but also his parents. And so I was kind of floored by this, but because he's right. Back then, I sold 100 card lots that were Yu-Gi-Oh, and I would do kind of like what you've seen on many other listings. I display some of the cards that you could possibly get in one of the pictures, which was a misrepresentation of what you're going to receive. You're not going to receive everything that's in the picture. Now, I may have explained that very clearly down in the description, but to get you to click on the listing is kind of like a thumbnail that talks about something or shows something that you're not really talking about the whole video. It's kind of to get you in there, and it is a bit deceptive. This used to be one of my biggest sellers. In fact, I don't know if you guys remember, but you used to be able to pay it was like $100 a month or something, but you could get your listing pinned to the top and in bold. They eventually did away with it, and now they brought it back with like the sponsored ad things. But it was guaranteed to be like at the top. And whenever I did that, I would sell about 10 of these things a day, and $100 off of Yu-Gi-Oh! Bulk. That was a big deal back then. That was a lot of money. Let's see if I can pull this Band-Aid off. I cut myself in another spot, but it doesn't look too bad. We were moving something around yesterday, and I got another little slice in my finger. But anyways, I'm going to show you, because I actually kept the other note that he wrote back to me, because I have no idea what I did to respond to this kid. I just found the other letter that he sent to me a little bit later, and he actually wrote this to me while I was in college. Here's my college address, Sullivan Hall. I'm glad I have this because I had forgotten what my address was. You can see he was in Seattle, Washington. This was 2009, so this is 16 years ago when I was selling through eBay. October 5th, 2009. Man, It's crazy to think about now. Back then, yeah, you could basically buy whatever you wanted for Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, and you wouldn't get much. Thank you so much for these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I've always wanted those cards ever since I saw them on the internet. When I was 5, I lost my best card, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now you gave me one. My friend has 4 out of the 5 Exodia parts. I didn't have any until you gave me the right arm and leg. Thanks, Will. So I guess I sent him apparently a right arm. I sent him a right leg of Exodia, and I also sent him Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, I don't know what these were from. I would imagine they're reprints, or they were maybe damaged LOB, because this is 2009, so there had been some reprints at that point, but I believe there was a 2007 maybe LOB pack. I really can't remember. But anyway, so whatever happened, I guess I made it right. And the kid, he was happy. A lot of times when kids are involved in a transaction and something goes wrong, and while it may not have been completely my fault, I still try to make it right to this day and go beyond that, because kids are the ones who are going to be sticking around this hobby and building onto the new generation. And if you have them always feeling like they're getting scammed or bad situations, then they're going to leave and they're not going to come back to the hobby. But anyways, that was just one example. And like I said, I have no idea really what happened. He says I sent him those cards. I don't remember it, but maybe he did, and he remembers writing. And I was just taken aback by how responsible this young man was. All right, so this is Rusty from Somebody. This is actually, I don't think this has anything to do with Pokemon, because I read through these briefly before I stuck them in here, but it says, "This is all I could get." And Cody was here, 16. Happy birthday from Cody. If you guys don't know, Cody is my brother, and this is my 16th birthday card. This is what he got me. It's about time. And this is a little joke. He said, "Who cut off my stomach?" He used to make fun of me for how skinny I was. And to this day, I still eat whatever I want, and I haven't started gaining weight yet. I'm sure it'll happen in time. My metabolism has got to slow down. My bones have already started feeling a little bit achy, and I have to warm up now. But when I read this, I was like, this is how life was for us back then. We didn't really have a whole lot of money to get each other anything, but he took the time to not only cut out, whatever this is. I don't care that he wrote in pencil or that it was sloppy. Like, to me, this shows me, this is my brother right here. Like, he tells me exactly as it is. This is all I could get. You know what? I see that, and that's great. And you know what? You're not lying to me. You're not trying to make it look fancier than it is. Like, I don't know what this is like, pieces of shoestring that he glued to it or something. But he decorated the border. I mean, for guys, this is pretty elaborate. Look, he even cut out pieces of paper and stuck it on here to make the 1 and the 6. And they're it's pretty nice. He even decorated a little bit with red and green using complementary colors. And, to me, this is almost, I don't know if it is or not, but I bet this was kind of like a running joke. Kind of looked like Christmas, but my birthday is in the middle of the summer. It's like the opposite. In fact, it's usually the first day of summer or the second day of summer. So it's like the exact opposite of the calendar year for Christmas. But yeah, so I love that. I'm glad my brother sent it to me, and I don't know why it was in this box with Pokemon stuff. I did find a few other personal things in there that I'm going to show you guys, but I thought that was pretty cool. All right, let's make sure this next one. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here. Dear TCA Gaming, like I said, I just briefly ran through these. Oh yeah, I probably put this one here because I had a drawing of a Magikarp, which is pretty cool. But let's read it anyway. So this is April 5th, 2020. So this was no, this wasn't. This was before COVID. So this would have been right before the Hartford Collectors event. I think, just to give, before we read it, some perspective, I think base set box was about $2,500 at this point. All right, thank you for buying my Plasma Storm Charizard and PSA 10. It's been a part of my personal collection, so I'm glad it's going to a good home. A huge stressor of finishing up my degree has been lifted, so I'd like to thank you for that. Happy collecting, Bowdangers. And yeah, so drew a pretty cool, like, I've heard of this person. I don't know where they are, but they're probably on social media. They might even, have 6-figure stuff, because it takes a lot for me to hear about people unless I'm listening to them on YouTube, because I don't scale or I don't look into a lot of these different channels and things. But you can see right here, you got the Magikarp. It says Carp. They took the time to draw, so that's why I included it in this video. All right. Next up, we have, "Hey Rusty, huge congratulations on adding a new member to your family. I'm really happy for you, and I wish John and his mother the best of health at this challenging time. Thank you again for all of the awesome videos, and please keep up the good work. Nostalgia, old bird, Charizard Rusty, Charmander John. So this touched me because it was talking about my son and congratulating me on having my son. And it was like 7 days into the shutdown for COVID when when my son was born in the hospital. So it was a really challenging time when this happened, and whoever this, Nostalgia Old Bird. In fact, I had several things from them, and I definitely remember this name, but I don't know their name personally that I can think of. But they took the time to write me a letter and congratulate me on my son. So I got to include, this person on my personal life, which was great. All right. Dear TCA Gaming, and so I included this one because it had a picture of the Charizard there and it looked like it was hand-drawn. I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. I appreciate your card openings and constant flow of vintage cards. It always makes my day. I would really appreciate if you open this card in one of your videos. And I can't remember what I opened up here, so it may have been just something that they've given me or in the stack that I'm going to show you guys here in a little bit. This was kind of cool. We got Dan the Pokemon. I remember him. He drew a Raichu there. So maybe John will like that one. All right, this one right here, I do have to be careful because it has names and stuff on it. All right, so there's one. And I've got a return letter, so I want to make sure that I don't do it right. Okay, so Mr. Oakley, last week I received an e-reader game card with the name Sharpedo on one side and Blaziken on the other side. My scanner said it worked well in his GBA e-reader. He and I agree we did not order this card. Thank you so much for sending it to him. Please, I must owe you some money. You have made him very happy. Let me know. And thank you. And so I think what had happened here, let's see if it's in this one. I don't know if maybe they returned this one. I don't know why I have this part, but Sandra, I appreciate the kind words. The card is little value to me. I'm glad to hear they were put to good use. Here are a few more. And so I sent him a few more cards because, I don't know, it's something about people writing you. It makes a difference. Then they responded, rest of you are amazing. You have made a young man very happy. Nathan said that they all worked in his e-reader. GBA, he loves Pokemon. He wants to pay you $5. Thank you so much, Sandra. And check it out. Here's the $5. So I still have the $5 that was sent to me. And the reason this had made a little bit of, make sure, because I really don't want to include their address. Sorry, this is a little bit all over the place. It was more of a big deal for me because this is the card they ordered by mistake. You may as well resell it. So I think they had sent it back. My grandson is autistic, and I do not know which cards can be scanned with his e-reader and can then be played in the GBA. On which ones are just cards. He mostly likes Pokemon at the time. Can you send me a list of ones he can scan and play? And then so I just sent you if you send me a Pokemon list, Pokemon e-reader cards to scan and play on the GBA, not the collection card or collector cards, just the game cards, you can email it to me if you want. And so for something like this, what was going on, the grandmother, I sent them a card accidentally, and then they sent it back, and then they kept it, and then I sent them some more cards, and pretty much she was trying to find a way to help out her grandson who was autistic, and I was trying to help them figure out which cards could be scanned in and played. So I talked about this in another video recently, talking about how you could scan in the cards from Skyridge and some of the e-reader sets and actually play the game. And I didn't show it to you at the time, but this is the e-reader. It's right here. And you would take it and you put it into a Game Boy like this. However, it doesn't go in the regular Game Boy because it has to connect into the top. But then you could scan the card. So you need an Advance, a Game Boy Advance, which I don't have one of those. But this is what that e-reader looks like. And it was just little miniature games that they could play and they could scan the cards. And so it was a kind of fun deal. And I actually made a video going over some of this stuff later on. And I believe I actually sent this person the video as well. And you can find that, like what to do with an e-reader. And there have been other videos made by people in the past. But I do remember this one, and it just kind of sticks out to me because you have somebody taking the time to invest in their grandchild and then going back and forth. And they're trying to be very honest about a card that was just sent to them as extra. And not only that, even after I told them they could keep it, they wanted to send money. They wanted to send additional money to us. So like that was the note I wrote them. And they included the note where they wrote back to me and included $5 for the card. So to me, that's just honesty at work in a place like eBay. And you got to have honesty for things like that to work. Now, this one was really special. I had no idea on this one until I saw it again. But you guys will probably know, if you know them, then you're going to see right here. This is a deli bird, and you can see it at the bottom too. This is somebody special that I bought stuff from before. But here, let's read this. Sorry about the delay. My post office didn't have the flat rate envelope that I wanted, the padded one. As you may notice, this is a flat rate box. Instead, I paid for the new label. This has been my first eBay transaction, and I'll admit I was pretty nervous. I have definitely learned a lot from this though. For one, I have adjusted my shipping settings accordingly so that in the future I do not have this kind of problem again. Thank you for your purchase and patience. I hope you enjoy this. Sincerely, James Golden. And this is Deli Bird Deals. Heck yeah, man. I can't believe that I was a part of his very first eBay transaction. That was an honor. So I kept that for a while. Here's something that somebody had drew for me and then I guess like laminated, or maybe he drew and then laminated or whatever. But you got Son Goku here. If you guys remember him, he had a YouTube channel, and yeah, he had sent me this. He actually sent me some other stuff too. I might show that later on in this video. All right, now this one's long, but I want to go over it with you guys, and I'm going to show you some stuff and talk about a few things that's said in here. So, dear TCA, so this is after the transition. I hope the new year is going well so far. In a PSA return video you uploaded about a month ago, I saw that you used the Charizard drawing I made you as a background. Thanks for appreciating my work. It means a lot, so I decided to send you another one that I did to remind you about another starter Pokemon not named Charizard. And so I'm going to show you guys those here in a minute. I started a new YouTube channel so I could upload Pokemon exclusive content. My new name is The Venusaur's Jungle. I was going to make it The Venusaur Authority, but anyways, I was wondering if you could let your viewers know about my channel, because YouTube has a new policy where you cannot make a custom URL with under 500 subscribers. I'm sure they'll love my new channel, especially if they've seen any of my videos from my old account, Richie L 1991. I also just signed up for PSA, so let them know I'll have some nice cards up for sale / trade. Wish me luck on my No Stage Blastoise. As always, thank you so much for the responses on Facebook and for checking those jungle hollows for me. I wish you well on sales for the upcoming new XY set, Generation 6. Look at that. I see you already have some awesome pack opening uploaded. By the way, I love your daughter's name, Emma, for a girl. That's #1 on me and my girlfriend's list if we ever have a girl in the years to come. Also, I hope your wife decides to go with a Pokemon themed room instead of animals. I can get people to send more Pokemon plush dolls if necessary. Sorry for the long note. Thanks again, Richie. eBay, the Venusaur's. We got Venusaur's Jungle, and YouTube, the Venusaur's Jungle with a long URL. So yeah, so this was Richie L, and this was just somebody I interacted with within YouTube, and he sent me some cool stuff. Let me see if I can find them. I got them right here. Now, I do have a Charizard artwork. I'm not sure which one is his, but this is something that he sent. I'm pretty sure this was from him. Check that out. So you got the Ivysaur, and there's a Venusaur sitting there right on it. You got the Bulbasaur. I love that. The Bulbasaur is actually my favorite Pokemon. And, I mean, this took some time. Like, somebody took the time to frame a drawing that they drew, put in a base set Ivysaur, put in a really cool Venusaur artwork. It's not base set Venusaur, but it is the promo one. And this is one of the fan favorites from the original era. The next stage of life awaits. So I definitely appreciate that. It was so generous. Took up so much time. And there's other things too. I don't know if he sent me all these, but it might be. I'll show you guys some of this other stuff here in a little bit. All right. Let me make sure this still ain't his. I'm going to check on Radar's number. Well, here, I'll just cover it up. So, this is something that I thought was kind of cool. This is from Pokemon Radar. And look at this. Pokemon base set packs. Bought 18 of them for $1,080. So, what was that, like $50 a pack? No, like $60, $50-$60 a pack. Or, yeah, right at $60 a pack. 10, 15, 2019. Man. Much cheaper. But like I said, $2,500 is about what you'd pay for a booster box at the time. That would have been 36 packs. And same thing here. Now this is a little bit more. This is just, so we're talking about now September 2019. Bought a 72 long pack case. So this is like one of those brown boxes where you would have 72 of the same packs. Now I paid $100 per pack on this, but they were a bit more expensive once you put them in there. Let me see what this is. Yeah, that was, so this is more expensive just because they were in that box itself. But yeah, you can get 72 of them. And again, thank you Radar for that. This is my friend. His name is Jordan Weaver. He's been in and out of jail, but he sent me this picture from prison. This was his Christmas there. And this is somebody I communicated with quite a bit over the years. And, you know, I haven't seen him much lately, but he was somebody I grew up with and even did like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon trades with back in the day. All right, next up. This one is a little bit longer, a little bit small, but I'll zoom in so it's not so bad. Hey, Rusty, my name is Anthony Lynch. I'm 26-year-old father, 7 years, to a 7-year-old son named Kaizen. He recently found Pokemon and is a huge fan of cards, games, shows, / movies. He became a huge fan instantly. I grew up collecting Pokemon as a kid. I collected first edition base up until 3rd gen, but as I got older, my collection sat in a closet and my mom tossed them. That sucked knowing the first edition Charizards were gone. But now my son loves Pokemon. It's awesome to have something we both enjoy. He loves watching your channel. Every night before bed, he always asks me, turn on TCA Gaming. He loves watching you open products and show off your amazing cards. He was recently bullied because he doesn't have a collection of his own, which really hurt me as a parent. I tore my ACL and MCL a few months back and lost my job because of it. Not having insurance really set us back, so that forced us to move into government housing projects and money has become very tight. I scraped together some money recently and buying him some booster packs of Shining Legends since the Neo packs are so expensive. This is probably when Shining Legends was like bottom dollar. Because the Shining cards are his favorite, besides anything Mew, Charizard, or Pikachu. We got 5 packs in total and he didn't pull any Shinings, which was unfortunate. I just want to share with you about our situation and say thank you for letting him be able to experience product openings and seeing the cards that he loves with you on your channel since he can't himself. It definitely helps and he loves it. He freaks out on your PSA returns when you get a 10. He's so excited for you. And I mean, that's just like, that's the kind of stuff you want to hear. And thank you for being family friendly as well. A lot of people on YouTube definitely aren't. Even if they don't cuss, they still say some inappropriate things. Thank you for giving a father and son something to bond over and watch together. We truly appreciate it and love your channel. I instantly become a fan when you told the story of the clock that goes off every hour. I believe you and your daughter danced together to it. That was a beautiful story and the moments we treasure as fathers. I wish you the best and continued success with your business and channel, sending positive vibes from Tennessee from myself and my son, Kaizen. All the best, Anthony and Kaizen Lynch. P.S. Love seeing you open the old base set series, Neo series promos, and so many more. It's awesome to have that nostalgia rush and seeing some of the amazing items. You are awesome for those. Keep it up, man. You're going to crack 25K subs soon, and I know you'll be one of, if not the biggest known PokeTubers there is. So, like, I know that was long, guys, but just hearing that kind of stuff, it motivates me to continue making this boring content, but where I can just cater to anybody who wants to listen. Like, I love the fact that you say that you like that it's family friendly, because yeah, that's something that I want for my family as well. And there are so many people that I try to listen to, but I can't listen to other than if it's just me locked into the headphones. I can't play them because they might be cussing or just saying inappropriate things. So I connect with that. And the fact that you've taken enough time to listen to my channel, I know that I've got a clock that goes off on the hour, and I dance with my kids, with my daughters, and even now my son likes to get up and we'll boogie or something. Whenever it goes off, like they love it. You know, every now and then I just turn the thing off for a week or so just so I get a little bit of a break, because every hour to go off, and if they're up here, you know, we'll get up and do that kind of thing. But I try to remember that it's not going to be like this for long. So I want to enjoy it, and I want to instill memories with them that not only, you know, that have to do with Pokemon, but just being together, me being their father, them being my kids, and them being allowed to be kids. It's kind of cool right here. Cracked 25K subs. You know, I think we're right at 80K now, so I really appreciate everyone's support in going through something like that. You know, just because I don't provide anything extraordinary. Like, these videos are not well edited or anything like that, but I do try to provide stuff to you that seems to be hopefully real. All right, next up we have, dear whoever reads this, Mr. Oakley was a horrible teacher. He always yelled, was never nice, threw Matt into a trash can, said Star Trek was cool, which it's not, killed Luke Skywalker, bombed an IHOP, whipped his unicorns, and don't even get me started on how he would bash my head with SpongeBob when I didn't sing Pretty Kitty good enough. But Oakley did do some good things. He gave us food, defeated Darth Vader, played the upside down piano, talked in a Russian accent, and taught me how to get the ladies because I'm so awkward. Oakley is a pimp. Ha ha ha. This letter was a total joke. Mr. Oakley is awesome. Sincerely, anonymous source. He ripped the phone book. Okay, so as you can tell, almost everything in here is not correct or true. This was something that, so when I was a student teacher in college, this was in 2012. I had all of my students write references for me. And because I never used, that, I ended up reading some of them because I was like, let me just read them because I was going to turn them in with the seals on them and everything. I remember reading this one because it was like a joke and they were like, you can read this one, Mr. Oakley. And so I did. And of course, I just thought it was funny seeing it come back through here. But I will say, when I say it was almost all, not true. Like this was true. So I remember in class, I did rip a phone book in half one time. I did put my head into the ceiling another time. I also arm wrestled one of the kids, and we also got to play with Nerf guns almost every single day. So that was kind of fun. I don't know if I would be that cool of a teacher now. I feel like I've gotten boring with my old age, but back then, man, I just wanted to make sure that the kids, they learned, and I wanted them to respect me. But at the same time, know that if they earned it, we would have fun. And so I think I really would have enjoyed being a teacher. It was something that it just clicked. It was kind of easy. But at the same time, Pokemon opened up so many more avenues for me. It was better money, better hours, and it allowed me to be a better family man, which that was the initial goal anyways. I wanted to be a teacher because they had summers off and they would have similar holidays off with their kids. So I knew that when I had a family, I'd want to spend that time with them. And when I become my own boss by selling for myself, it really just opened up the door even more. All right. So, dear Russell, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for buying your item when I wasn't supposed to and when I used my dad's money without his permission. I hope you can forgive me. I might buy from you again in 6 years when I'm 18. All right. I think anybody who's a seller knows that you're going to get excuses online. My dog, clicked it. My kid took my phone and bid accidentally. And we get that crap all the time. They don't want to take responsibility. So I think in this situation here, because I don't remember this specifically, a kid really did buy something on their parent's account. And that parent, instead of, I don't know what happened. I guess maybe they did request to cancel it, but they made them physically write me a letter. It was sent to me in the mail, and I kept it because it's like, this is a 12-year-old kid, and whoever this parent is, they're at least making them put it in writing and apologize and send it out to me. So it might make them think twice about doing something like that again, but it's also making them think about the responsibility of their own actions. And while I think it still would have been better for them to make them actually buy it and pay for it, this is still a good step. And if it was something that was so expensive that they couldn't, then, this might have been their only option. Because sometimes kids can bid a lot of money on Pokemon cards and buy things, and it would ruin you if you had to spend $3,000. Like some people, that kind of money, that would put you seriously behind on rent, behind on car payments, house payments, whatever you want to call it. And so you just can't afford it and you have to cancel it. And that's just what you have to do. But it stuck out to me, and that's why I showed it here. Oh yeah, here we go. So we have another one from the Venusaur jungle. All right, I'll show you guys the bottom here in a minute. Rusty, so here we are, not even 2 weeks removed from my first ever free cards by mail. If you guys don't, that's what FCBM. The videos used to be FCBM and BCBM. Like that was the kind of the big thing. And I already find myself thanking you again. What can I say? You offered to accept my DBZ DVDs as store credit. Was amazing, and I would have never thought in 1,000 years an eBay seller would go that far outside of the box to work with customers, e-buyers. or e-buyers. This, of course, assuming the buyer doesn't pay, but either way, to save me the headache/stress of having to relist the item again, I very much thank you, and the best way for me to show my appreciation is through art. I feel like I am sending you enough artwork to open up a museum, lol. So I apologize in advance for that, but this is my artwork, or this is my favorite one that I've ever done. I hand drew the Charizard, scanned it on my PC, and photoshopped the rest. By the way, your brother is a great artist as well. He did your logo to perfection, and it's very original. And more to come on that later. And check this out. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This is why I always send faces. And this is a quote from the Bible. And we have Richie L. He signed a Venusaur from Dark Explorers. He put peace on there as well. So that again was the Venusaur jungle. I'm going to show you these other two artworks. I believe these might be him, but there's more artworks over here as well that I'm going to show you guys. But this is a DBZ one. I want to say that he also sent me like a Dragon Ball. It was like the 4-star Dragon Ball. That's my grandpa. Yeah. Dear Rusty, thank you for the trade. I appreciate the effort on your end to find cards for me. I know this box isn't in the perfect condition. So this is Mike. So this is somebody else. For your booster box collection while it sits. A placeholder. Oh, this is for the this is the Emerald box. I remember this. While it sits in a placeholder, I added some cards to help you, but that pristine version when it does come along, Mike. So this note came from a guy who sold me, I'm pretty sure it was either Emerald or Deoxys, because they were like the last boxes that I needed. And I don't have them anymore. I did sell them to move them along so that I could buy a house. But I assume it come with this artwork. A lot of this stuff was kind of thrown in there. All right, here's another artwork. I believe this one is done by Richie L. So we have a Kabutops. We got Kabuto. This is the fossil Kabutops and the fossil Kabuto directly from that artwork. And you can see it says stage 2 on it, which I guess you have basic. I thought it was stage 1 and stage 2. So this would be the stage 2. I think that would be stage 1. I'm not too sure on that one. I should have that down by now. All right, now I'm gonna start showing you guys some other stuff that I have here. Let's go with this. All right, so if you guys don't remember, so 10 base set booster packs, first edition German, 4 pack opening / video. I would like to have most / all hollow / non-hollow rares graded. We can discuss via email as to the price depending on the condition. So if you guys don't remember, I used to pay people to let me open up their packs on my channel. This is when packs were a lot cheaper, but I would do up to 10% depending on what it was. So like if you want to send me a base set box, I might pay you $250 to be able to open up that whole base set box on the channel. Now I can't remember, there weren't too many like WotC boxes that I got for that, but there were a lot of packs that people let me do. And then in turn, I might also grade stuff for you as well, and you could apply the money towards grading fees or something like that. Let's see what we have here. Here's some items that I found that were sent free. Got some kind of sticker sheet here. Check this out. It's like a patch. It's a nice patch. Some kind of artwork there. Let's see what do we have. I've got something special I want to show you guys at the near the very end. So somebody had made these and sent them. It was from their family. It's like little plastic, I guess it'd be shot glasses, but I don't drink, but even still, they look really cool. This one has a Mega Tyranitar coin, I believe, in here. And then you have the base set Charmander and the Charmeleon. So these would be like little cup holders, or not cup holders, but the things you set the cups on. There was some kind of Pikachu van thing going on here. Now I've still got some more like nostalgic stuff I'm gonna show you guys as well, but I'm trying to show some of these other things before I forget. Somebody made this knife. If I remember correctly, like this is a cut up booster pack, like a backpack wrapper. It was shredded and included inside of this. There's the mark. I can't remember who it was from, but yeah, I thought that was it's so unique. There's so much creativity within Pokemon. I'll show that here in a minute. Let me show you some of these artworks. So here's a piece of artwork. This one was photo scanned in there. This one was by my brother. He drew this one like really quickly. Did kind of like a chalk thing. That's his signature, Cody Oakley. Pretty sure this is the same guy that we just saw who had sent those German packs, a Nabaru. But it was like some kind of art print. Oh, here's the other side. Did like a poster for me that says TCA Gaming. That should be the bottom side, right, of the playmat. That's pretty cool. Here's some kind of uncut sheet I think somebody had given me. It's obviously a fake one. You got a Shadowless Machoke, a Jungle First Edition Pikachu, a holographic base set Poliwrath, and a holographic base set Mewtwo. So these would have never been on the same sheet together. And the color's wrong. A lot of other things are kind of messed up on it. But it was just unique to see. I think somebody was just trying to turn the thing in. Let me go with some of these cards right here. So this is a card from Richie L, the same guy, the Venusaur's jungle guy. So he did send an Ivysaur to me. Here's some old business cards. Look at this. So I used to send these out. It was like little promotions. Spend $50, get a free sealed WotC WB promo. Limit 1 per customer. I sell the Dragonites now for like $60. Ain't that crazy? And I continue to sell out. The cheapest one I have is the Electabuzz at $20. But yeah, limit 1 per customer. 10% off any PSA graded card, max 100% discount. I would just include these with things. All right, so here we have my old parking sticker from East Burke High School. Here's a Venusaur sticker that probably come from the Venusaur jungle. Here's my old NC State University student ID card. ID 910756. That's pretty close to my PSA ID. Crazy enough. I was kind of tan back then. My brother made me this man card, property of Rusty. Carolina Tar Heels. You got Mosser. You got Rambo. Chuck Norris approved. He was always creative like that. Here's my you can see one of my old addresses, but this is my original driver's license, which hasn't really changed that much. I never updated the picture, and I'm not actually 6'2". What had happened was I got put in there as 5'10" because the lady was like, "No, you're not 6 feet tall." I'm like, "Okay." And so when I went back to upgrade it from the privileged license to this right here, I had a cowlick. I mean, it was pretty bad. Normally, if you see me wearing a hat, it's because I wake up with a cowlick and I don't feel like doing anything to get rid of it. So I just put on a hat. I had a cowlick that day, but it was like right in the back, and it gave me a couple of extra inches. So they put me in there 6'2", but I'm not actually 6'2". In fact, if you take my shoes off, I'm still under 6 feet tall. All right, Venusaur Jungle. There we go. We have another card from him. You have the Paris, and we have a pretty cool card that's got like Gengar, Ghastly, Haunter. Now, these are fake. These are like the vending series stickers, or they're at least, we don't know if they're officially licensed, but they're not like cards that we know for sure have come out. Thank you for your purchase. Hope you pull some hollows from the Neopack. So this is somebody I bought Neopacks from. My reference / feedback post on my IG, you got Matt Geekarp 87. I don't know who gave me this, but we have, oh wait, I think there's something in here. Yeah. I was going to wait and see. But yeah, so this is a PSA 8. Let me zoom this back out a little bit. Oh, wrong way. Nice swirl on it. Let's see what this says right here. All right, it says thank you. I have something for you. Oh, Pokey Charles. If you guys don't know who Pokey Charles is, he's a kid that the channel's named after him, but his dad runs a shop now down in Florida, and they have been like they've had a big success within Pokemon. He's successfully been able to open up a shop, and they run a store. I think they have a standalone shop now because they were in a mall, but for a while there, I was able to work with them to help them. Let me pause this. All right, sorry, that was my mom. She was asking about something. She runs and does a lot of errands for us, and we are so appreciative of what she does do. But yeah, Pokey Charles, that's the name of their IG. I think they've got a YouTube channel and a few other things. But his dad, he reached out to me a while back and helped him get with distribution, and then they started running with it. They're like a success story, and so I hope that they're still getting product in times like this. But I haven't spoken to them in a while, but it takes me back right there. All right, thank you for supporting TCA Gaming. And then this is, I can't really tell what that is, Charmander 99 OG. I think that's what it is. I like keeping these little cards. Found these in there. Don't know who gave them to me, but thought it was kind of cool to see those Topps cards. We have a Magikarp here. Pleasure doing business as always. Thank you. And then we have Matt Geekarp again, 87. I don't know who gave me this. Like, who would give away a reverse hollow from Expedition in Gem Ant 10 condition? Somebody did, and they gave it to me, and it was just sitting in this box. Thanks, Rusty. That was just an energy. I found a couple Nolan Rides. I think these come from Poke Radar, but I'm not too sure on that. Found a few Japanese cards that look like they were ready to be sent out to be graded. So, oh wait, here we go. Hey Rusty, thanks for the trade. Hope you enjoy the no symbol Jolteon. Love the channel. Keep up the good work. IG Frosty TCG or hey, or no, this is George. I think this is George. Another Nolan Ryan there. Got a light Azumarill and 8 unlimited 8. This was probably like a $10 card back in the day, like not even worth what it was graded, but I bet it's went up since then. Got a nice Merlin Lugia. That's a pretty cool card. Found a Mew. Like, man, like it's pretty rough, but still, like this set's gotten very popular lately. So just seeing this raw in there, it's kind of crazy. Same thing with this Articuno. It's really rough, but just seeing it in here raw. Somebody sent it to me. They're probably like, here you go. Got an old McDonald's pack. Looks like we've got some more Merlin stickers here. Let me see what we got. Got a Dawn fan. We got some of these clear cards. Jinx, Starmie, Slowbro. There's a Slowking 2-piece. Got Meryl, Quagsire, and a few other cards. So it's pretty cool seeing this stuff. Just looking at it again. I mean, it's been so long. Unlisted Leaf. Keep up or keep on gaming, Rusty. So this is a card from Ando. I can't remember if I bought something from. I think I bought some bulk from him a while back. Look at this, an Expedition Charizard. This thing is bent in half. I mean, it is wrecked. But still, finding it loose in there, I love seeing it. And then Mr. Fuji, what does it say? Mr. Fuji took exceptional care of his Pokemon. You, my friend, will continue to grow like Mr. Fuji until you are bald and the Pokemon love you back. Your friend, Zach. So thank you, Mr. Fuji. I'm not bald yet. I'm getting there. Probably got some receding going on here and there. But I mostly have cowlicks, so I got to take care of those by wearing a hat. It won't be long before I start going bald. I know my dad, he lost his hair. Well, I mean, he kept it kind of in the middle. I just want it to be like symmetrical. I don't want one side to be like way back here and the other, because then I'll just take care of all the hair. Here's some like business cards that I have from over the years. There's Poke Charles, there's Poke Rev, P Center, 416 cards, Card Throne, Old School. There's Radar. There's 2 more Revs. Those are a little bit older. Analytic Gengar. Got Cabins cards. So I keep those things too if I get some. I don't always keep them, but if I throw them in the box, then they're there. I've got some old bubblegum. We'll eat this later on, see if it's any good. I don't know how old this is. Looks like it's before copyrights. I don't know how old it is. Well, we'll just eat it. We'll figure it out. We'll see. Maybe it's somewhere in there and I just couldn't read it. But before we go on, I've still got some more things I'm going to show you guys. Let's see. I found this box in there. I don't know what's going on here, but check out these old fake packs, man. Look at that. 2nd edition. Team Rocket. I mean, that kind of looks cool. We'll just briefly go through the cards. If there's, I don't know. Utachi. That's a Furet. Hitmonsuit. I don't even know, man. Look at all these cards. They're just so weird. But it's kind of cool seeing these old fakes. Like that Dark Arbok was real. And there's a Gengar. Looks like somebody went through and took the time to take certain artworks and throw them on the cards and change up like the HP. But they kept like I think that's Dark Blastoise there, but it's a Jumpluff. And it's a Jumpluff called Watako. A holographic 1st edition Dawn fan. Like, I didn't know I still had these counterfeit cards. And I know there are people who really like this kind of stuff. And some of these are so unique. they might actually be worth some money. Who knows? But I don't know how I would feel about selling it. Because you would have to put counterfeit completely in the title. I think that kind of stuff is going to get blocked. But if somebody wanted it, maybe we could make some kind of deal. There's some base set 2 stuff. Let me see if these are all base set 2 ones that we've seen. Well, there's some Southern Islands. Let me pull those out. That's unique. Kangaskhan, Marowak. Yeah, I mean, it's been so long since I've seen these. Look at that Articuno. I mean, these artworks aren't terrible. There was an Alakazam. We know that wasn't printed. Look at that Blastoise. So different. I might post some of this stuff to Instagram. Look at these are glossy. Old glossy Japanese cards. These must have been like counterfeits that I had found in collections, and I just set them in here because these look closer to being real. They're not like that Vileplume is not. It was non-holographic, but those other ones, those were just like complete unique artworks. And I've got all of these stored inside of a Team Rocket box. I used to sell these things for dirt cheap. Old school Pokemon had to hook up for them. Ow. It just might have reopened a little wound on my finger. Hopefully it doesn't start bleeding. Check this fake out. Unbroken Bonds. We might make a video out of opening up this box, but yeah, a counterfeit Unbroken Bonds booster box. And this was likely bought at a time when it shouldn't be worth it to buy this kind of thing, but I still had it anyways. Somebody did it. Now, I think this is a real print somebody gave to me. Collectible cell art, but I don't even know what this is from. It looks like Pikachu is battling Lucario. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, got a few more graded cards. I think someone had sent this along with the Merlins. So we got a Caterpie and a 9, a Kadabra and a 9, and then we have a Venusaur and a 9.5. So that's pretty cool. I never sold these things. I just set them back, but maybe it's time to let them go. I don't know. Check this out. Found 2 Cosmic Eclipse booster packs, or sleeved booster packs. These are probably worth some money now because I believe the booster box is worth thousands of dollars. So I imagine these packs have the potential to be worth upwards of $100. I mean, I really don't know. I have to check the prices on them, but that would be my guess. All right, now I'm going to show you guys some stuff that's even more nostalgic to me. I'm going to pause this for a second. All right, so I paused it because I knew I had something I wanted to show you guys before I showed you the plushie that I'm about to show you. So this is if you remember this, like you've been around on YouTube for a long time, Lady K Poke Garden. Hey Rusty, I wanted to thank you for being a great friend and help me complete my sets. Also, thanks for making great videos and guides for the Pokemon community. I always enjoy browsing your store on eBay. I came across this plushie at my local card store and thought it was something the Charizard Authority absolutely needed to have. Hope you enjoy the shiny Charizard plushie and pin. I look forward to watching more of your videos and completing more sets with your help. Your fellow Pokemon collector, Lady K506. So Lady K506 is one of the OG Pokemon YouTubers, and I watched a lot of her content. We did business together. We did like a lot of raw collection type things, but she was one of the first people to ever send me something on, like, in the mail. So maybe I can, we'll change the view here. So this is what she sent me. This shiny Charizard. It also come with a pen. I put the pen into it. This is during the XY era. But it just, I mean, it made a difference to me. And like just thinking about how, I mean, we're connected. Even though we're on the internet, we're not seeing each other in person. Like we're actually making friends and memories with people that we might be in contact with for a long time. And of course, she is no longer on YouTube as far as I know, unless she created other accounts. But the fact that she reached out, she thought about me, and she sent me that plushie, that was a big deal for me back then. I stuck it in a box, and I started putting more things in this box. I wish I had kept a lot of the stuff that had been sent or that I had communicated with buyers for years prior to that, because the older it gets, it's like the more nostalgic it is. But that particular item, well, it was one of the first, and so I appreciate it, and that's why I saved it for near the end. Now I'm going to show you guys a few other things that are kind of cool to me. Let's go with here. In fact, I didn't even think about this, but so this is I don't think this was actually my Game Boy Color. Mine was purple, but I do have my silver. And you can see, I mean, this is pretty old. Like I did play with this one, but it was, this wasn't like my original from when I was a kid. But let's just, how do these batteries work? That's crazy. I can't believe they work. Let's see if we can have power long enough to see what I have here on the Game Freak. This was a game I played a lot of. This is the World Championships 2004 for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I liked playing the card game on there. I can't believe this thing is working. Silver version is what I had. Oh, it doesn't have the old game on it. Alright. Well, I was hoping it would have like my old save file in there, but it didn't give me the option, so that was not there. All right, now I'm going to show you guys some stuff that's even more nostalgic. We're going to go back a little bit farther. This was a deck that I had made while I was in college, and while me and my buddy Casey, we actually battled and dueled. We did Yu-Gi-Oh, but we did a lot of Pokemon too. And so this is one of the decks that I would play with back then, and I guess I kept the thing all this time. This Heatran, I love playing this Heatran because once during your turn, you may move a steel energy attached to one of your Pokemon to Heatran. This power can't be used if he's affected by a special condition. It did 20 more for each heads, on the metal. So while this kind of attack might not be that great now, a basic Pokemon 100 HP, and it can do up to 100 damage with 3 energies, and it might only take you 2 turns to do it. That was pretty good. I don't know what else I have in here. There's a metal energy. Some of these metal energies you couldn't have more than a few of in a deck, and some of this stuff you definitely can't play now, Bill. We were just playing based off the cards we had. I love that Goldberry. I don't think there's anything in here that would be worth money. It was all maybe that double rainbow energy. That used to be like a $5-10 card, but it was just something that I put together and played. Oh look, well there's a metal energy from Neogenesis. Looked to be in decent shape. Maybe the Roseanne's Research. But yeah, I would play with this deck with him, and I just kept it. I ended up making other decks as well, but this one seemed to do the best out of the decks that I had. Definitely not like high tier or high level or anything like that, but it was fun enough for me and him to play going back and forth. All right, so going back a little further, check this out. I didn't realize I still had this. I'm gonna zoom out. Boom, badge book. I thought I had gotten rid of this thing. Rusty Oakley, Toys R Us. I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this for real? This is my original one. Or at least my original Gen 2 one. You can see where the stars were stuck in there. I didn't make it very far. I mean, we would go to Toys R Us, but a lot of times I'd go to another place called Time Tunnel or Media Play, and they didn't have the league itself there where they did all this stuff. But we could get in there. I would do a lot of trading. Like, that's what I was there for. I wasn't there to earn the dime card. I mean, it wasn't even that much back then. Like, you could get as many Missy Cedars as you wanted. You just have to keep filling out this form over and over and over and over again, and you would get a Missy Cedar. And they had giant boxes of these promos. But this brings back a lot of memories, and this actually brings back a ton of memories. I might have to go back to the other screen for it. I'm hoping I can fold this thing back. So this right here, this is an original Team Rocket poster. I'm getting ready to mess it up. I had this hung. It was hung inside or on our wall in my bedroom above my bed. Actually, it was like partially behind the bed, partially on the wall. But like you can see where, I mean, this thing is just wrecked. It's absolutely wrecked. But this was my, man, I am messing up this folding thing. But it's like a playmat on the one side, like for the game, and then on the other you've got Team Rocket, the full set, and it's just depicted out. And so this hung on my wall for years and years and years. It was taped on there, just like any kid would have done. And I can't believe that it was kept. I thought for sure I had thrown that thing away. Same thing with the book. I had maybe gotten rid of some of the other stuff and just kept those two. But that was the original one that me and my brother got to look at every day that we went in. I probably didn't even think about it. It was hung up there and it was just there. I remember we had a fire energy that I nailed into the wall in the basement as I went down the stairs. I mean, the stairs were so steep, like they would never pass code now. I mean, it was hard not to fall down these stairs. They were so slick and steep, and the steps were so far apart. And it would go down to our basement where it flooded at any time it rained because we had no like water protection or whatever. But we had an energy nailed directly into the door from where, I mean, we were done. Like, we just, back then, like, anything that we thought, we just went ahead and did it. Like, I would be whipping my kids if they were doing the same things right now. Like, you don't nail something into your door, but that's what we did. I remember I had a Batman. I would just like jam it up into the ceiling. Like, I was the kid that, I didn't realize it back then, but all the parents were probably like, what in the world? They need to get a hold of him, or where are his parents? Because, I mean, we were off doing whatever we wanted. But anyways, just seeing that, it takes me right back to childhood. And when I think of my childhood, in regards to Pokemon, I was probably barefooted. I had on shorts and I didn't have on a shirt. And maybe we were battling or we were throwing the cards at each other. The fact that anything survived from my childhood, that's a wonder in itself. All right. Next, I'm going to go to this right here. I've only got a few things left, so if you guys have hung around, you're a champ. This is the original artwork that my brother drew for me as a way to have a logo for my store. And you can see I told him I wanted the Blue Eyes, I wanted the Charizard. Those were the two cards I focused on. That's why I was the Charizard authority. Charizard was the big deal, but I also like doing Blue Eyes from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I did a lot of both of those games. I wanted to have them two kind of mixed together in the same picture, and he drew it for me for $100. I don't think there's anything written on it. And eventually he was able to do something where he printed it out and got the black background going on it. But this is the original artwork. This is like the very first one that he drew. And it survived. Somehow it survived. It's got a little mark over here. But I had no idea where I'd stuck this thing. And apparently it was in this box of memories. And so that's where it's going to go back to. It stayed safe there. Hopefully it continues to stay safe. But now it's like synonymous with my store. Anytime I do something, or start up a new account, I try to have that as like the little logo. And then here's I believe this will be the last thing that I show you guys. So this right here, this is also something that hung up in my room when I was a kid. And just seeing this image right here, I mean, it definitely takes me straight back to 1999, probably more like 2000 for me. But you just have these original Pokemon. All of these are super popular except for maybe like 2 or 3 of them. 4 of them maybe. But you got the Gengar, you got the Charizard. I would have made Gengar probably a little bit bigger. I think Charizard's wingspan is like 7 feet, so he's only like 4 or 5 feet tall. So that Gengar is kind of small. But you got Snorlax here. It's just simple. Got to catch them all. Got a giant net coming down over some Pokemon. That's all it was. That's what it was back then. Like, you just had Pokemon. And then I'm going to show you guys this on the back. I think I've shown this once or twice before. But it says 98 to 99. It was probably like I said 99 or 2000. But I'm not completely sure on that because Pokemon was out in 96. Maybe we hadn't gotten the English stuff until, because I was in 5th grade when I started getting my first cards. But it says base 1. From Tyler to Rusty, BFF. We're not best friends, now. Like there's my wife, and I don't talk to him that much. But if I saw him, I still know his family. Oh, I spent a lot of time with this guy. He was like 6'9" at one point. I think he shrunk down to about 6'7", but he was a big dude, and it was hard for me to play basketball. But he trained me. Like I was a shorter guy, and now I could play post on a short court with big guys. But yeah, he was. I mean, definitely one of my best friends growing up, and even into some of my adulthood. Tyler gives Rusty a good start on his hobby, collecting Pokemon cards and playing the game. Thank you, Tyler. So this is something that I wrote on there, and you can kind of see where I had it hung up. I think I tried to like stand it up, but it ended up just getting hung up. So yeah, this is one of my childhood memories. One of the things that I had that was always there, and it takes me right back to that time where Pokemon was really simple. Like you just wanted to catch them. You wanted to get some Pokemon cards, stick them in your binder, trade, and then go outside and play and forget about them for a little while. Unless you kept them in your pocket, then you were mad because you washed them, and that's how it was. I think a lot of kids can still experience that now. We have more cards out than ever, but it's so much harder, to get them from stores. But if you want singles, go to a shop, and usually, they've got boxes and rows, and bulk is really cheap. So I do think Pokemon is still accessible. A lot of times when we're in this hobby now, and we get on YouTube, it's talking about market and money, and that's the big hot topic that people are focused on. But there are still ways that you can really enjoy this hobby without having to worry about the money side of it. Yeah, you might not be able to get the best cards anymore. It might be beyond your budget. But there's still a lot of stuff that you can enjoy for a smaller price, a much smaller price. Bulk now is the cheapest that it's ever been. And even my kids, I wish that they appreciated the non-hits more. It's like the way I started out having them open up packs, it's like they go straight for the hit. If it's a hollow or a reverse hollow, they can care less. But now that they've started getting back in there, and they're making a cute Pokemon binder, they're collecting Snorlax. To me, that's what it's more about. That's what's going to help solidify the next generation in Pokemon and make them carry forward those fond memories into adulthood, because that's what we need. If you have a bunch of investors as kids, I don't know, what kind of nostalgia does that create for you as an adult? But let me know what you guys think about the video. I am going to end with one thing. I'm going to chew this gum, see if it's any good. But That's all I have to show you guys. I thought it was a great journey for myself going through that. And like I said, there's a lot more stuff that I didn't even read through. I just kind of showed some of the stuff that seemed to have pictures or something like that on it. All right, we'll go back to my face. We'll see if this gum's any good. Oh my gosh. Crunchy. Getting the jaw workout here. You're not supposed to chew with your mouth open, but if you're watching this, what else do you want? So far, not too bad. I mean, it tastes a little weird. Definitely not winter fresh. Oh, I just swallowed a little piece. It's a little musty. It's a little musty. But it's starting to mesh together. It's still on about 50 pieces. Ah, okay. I think I've got it. The gum is still edible. It can still be turned into gum. It's still it's kind of like when you're trying to mash together a bunch of frozen meat. It does not want to stick like that. Or cook some frozen meat, it just falls apart rather than mashing together. But not too bad for the gum that I don't know how old it is, but I would say at least 10 years. If it was 20, it would not surprise me because I've eaten some old gum before. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. If you listened all the way through all of that, congratulations. You definitely have a longer retention rate than the majority of all of the watchers for this channel, or just people on YouTube in general. But if you have any fond memory that you want to share with me, please send it my way. To my email, mail it to me, put it down there in the comments. I'll try to make sure to read all of these things. I don't get a ton of comments, but I appreciate you guys taking the time just to share this journey with me. And for all of you who have supported me over the years, I'm going to continue making YouTube content, at least for now. Can't believe I've been on here this long making content. But it's been fun, too, starting it up with my family. And who knows where that's going to go.